Hi, my name is Anthony Kay, and I'm an entrepreneur, a designer, an engineer, and I was the first person to commercially produce an espresso compatible capsule in the world. Welcome to the very first episode of Engineered Coffee, a coffee podcast where we will delve into the world of coffee capsules, the brewing machines, and the journey behind making them. It's where we explore the story behind building not just a product, a full-blown manufacturing business from scratch. This podcast isn't just about coffee. It's about solving engineering problems under pressure. It's about navigating patents, production, packaging, and people. It's about trying, failing, and pushing forward, because nothing is as easy as it seems. The devil is always in the details. This story starts back in 2009, about 16 years ago. And like many of you, I love my morning espresso. And when I came across the Nespresso capsule system, I was hooked. It delivered consistently a great espresso, a little moment of luxury for around 40 US cents a cup in those days, 2009. Then I had one of those eureka moments. I crunched the numbers and realized that Nestle was effectively charging around $70 per kilo of coffee, 2009 prices. That's when I thought, this has to be a massive business opportunity. It must be. The question is, how were they doing this? So Nestle controlled the whole process from the farmer, the bean, to the cup through the brewing machine and through their boutique stores. And this was the whole value chain, all owned and controlled by Nestle. You couldn't just walk into your local supermarket and grab a pack of Nespresso-compatible capsules. There were just none available on the market at all. You could not buy your favorite brand like Illy or Watson or Starbucks at that time in a capsule format. So this begged the question, why? And the answer was because Nestle had locked the market down with hundreds of patents. And who would dare go up against a huge player like Nestle? Still, I figured I had to give it a shot. And obviously that's easier said than done, knowing nothing about the coffee business, let alone single-serve capsules. So I started diving into the intellectual property and patent searches. And after months of research, I found a gap. Most of the key patents, or some of the key patents, were set to expire in 2012. So I figured I better make my move, and I wanted to have the first mover advantage. So step one, I had to design a capsule that could be injection molded in plastic. Step two, build a prototype mold, and step three, fill it and seal it. But how was I going to fill and seal these capsules? I contacted some of the top machine builders in the world, mostly Swiss and German firms, but they all said no way. They all had deals with Nestle and weren't about to risk those relationships. So being an engineer and loving machines and building machines, I decided that I would be better off by designing and building my own first line. That was just the beginning. I had to figure out what lidding to use, what the specs, what roast profiles work best, what grind sizes, which plastic would I have to use, or should I develop my own, and what packaging I should use, and so much more. This was not going to be easy. After reviewing a lot of their patents, I knew that it was a very precise and scientific business, not just putting 5.5 grams or 6 grams of coffee into a container and off you go. The capsules had to be produced under a modified atmosphere, and the packaging had to preserve the flavor of the coffee, something an aluminium capsule from Nespresso does very well, extremely well. So this podcast will dive into all of that. We'll break down the engineering, the coffee, the materials, the grinding, and the different capsule systems on the market over time. In next week's episode will be my very first big mistake, underestimating a global giant like Nestle. So if you're into coffee design or the grind of building a business from scratch or from nothing, then please like, subscribe, and share it. It helps a lot. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, I'm Anthony Kay, and this is Engineered Coffee.